here is going to be a quick little thing on the things that are going to be happening with Fenix by David Sum. Alright, so hi everyone, we're back with more updates with Fenix and a discussion on the issues that we've been investigating, as well as how we're planning to address them. So champions need to die first for Fenix to be most effective. Whenever a champion dies, it takes over a host shell and gains the stats and abilities of the champion. If a champion always dies first, every host shell of that type effectively has the stats and abilities of the champion. In a perfect scenario, a unit with a 20% cost reduction becomes a unit with nearly double the stats and powerful abilities. Mathematically, that's amazing. Of course, we didn't expect the perfect scenario to play out every time, but we think we overestimated how often this happens in practice. A bug which previously caused the champion to not transfer to the closest host shells made this even worse. The AB transfers also didn't help. The level upgrade eventually protocol buffs the champion transfer rather than its overall performance. The message we're getting from players is champions need to die first means most effective. Managing one of your units to try to get them to die first is not very fun, intuitive, or practical. The solution not only was Avenging Protocol sending a strange message to the player, it also wasn't that big of a bonus in most situations. We were looking to make Avenging Protocol grant stacking bonuses to champions when host shells of their type are destroyed, in addition to when they transfer. Champions should power up regardless of who dies first. The design intent of the champion transfer mechanic is for the champion to remain on the field as long as there are host shells for it to transfer to. There's no reason to require them to die in order to benefit from them. Okay, I think the idea here is that any unit of that type that dies gets that, and it doesn't have to be the actual hero unit. I don't know. It still seems like there's a bit weird thing going on there. Like, I like the Avenging Protocol, but I don't know, you saw earlier when I was playing the all-hero units for Fenix, I really didn't notice, even though my hero units were dying, anything powerful happening there. So I think this whole Avenging Protocol, it should be any unit that dies should make every other unit more powerful, at least in my opinion. Like, you don't want your carriers to die in order for your carrier to be more badass. It seems to only really work for lower tier units and not higher tier units. So that's something I would say right off the bat. Okay, issue 2. Reward going deep, not going wide. No idea what that means. Okay, when we were first playtesting Fenix internally, making one of every champion and making every type of unit was the way to go. It was fun. We got to see each of the awesome personalities on the field, and you got to play with a variety of units. It was cool. But we started to worry about this playstyle would constitute this one and only build. The problem would turn out to be carriers. Therefore, we started building in advantages to going deep. In other words, to picking few champions and unit types that would be effective in specific max entity composition. We designed an upgrade around this specifically in tactical data web. Did we need to do more? What happened next was exactly where we went wrong. We started punishing the going wide strategy. We intentionally made Fenix's upgrades expensive so that you had to commit to only a few tech paths. Not only did it overtly restrict going wide, but also significantly slowed down his econ, which, with critical researchers consuming early resources. By punishing the use of variety units, we also exacerbated the dominant single unit strategy, carriers. Adjusting research cost. Okay, so their solution to not being able to go wide is to adjust research cost. We're reducing the cost of his special, a non-standard Protoss research cost across the board. We also looked at the Caldaris AI Zealot Champion research that you need to help fight against early attackers and clear structural alternatives on expansion sites. We also removing the gas cost on Caldaris AI research, which is nice, which was causing you to have to commit to simulators too early, thereby slowing expansion time too much. Overall, this allows Fenix to use many different tech options, gives him a straight-up buff to his economy, which helps him ramp into a bigger army much quicker, making him much more viable on early mutation challenges. In our testing, this had a huge impact on his playstyle and power. Alright, so reducing the cost of his special, i.e. non-standard Protoss research across the board. Okay. So basically I think it's everything except for armor, attack, and everything upgrades are going to be reduced. Okay. There are 2 big design changes we felt needed to be addressed immediately. There are some other changes that are coming with regards to tactical data web. Balanced champion. Champion balance and a Phoenix armor suits that should make them feel more impactful. Again, yeah, okay. So ultimately, Avenging Protocol and reducing the cost of upgrades. Yeah, I don't know if either one of those address any of the issues. So you could always go Nexus before gas if you went cannons. And that was the cool thing about it. But like, tell me, did anybody feel like these are anything impactful for Phoenix? Okay. Okay, let me see this for a second. Whenever a champion dies, it takes over a host shell and gains the stats and abilities of the champion. If a champion always dies first, every host shell of that type effectively has the stats and abilities of the champion. So if you're... First scenario unit with a 20% cost reduction becomes a unit with nearly double the stats and powerful ability. This is amazing. Every time void using the Ash Smith pounds in practice. A bug which previously caused the chamber to not transfer to the closest host shell made it even worse. The day between transfers. Avenging Protocol buffs the champion's transfer rather than its overall performance. Yeah, I still don't think this helps very much. And you still can't do it. It makes so much more sense for low tier units, but high tier units you don't want to die. That's the whole point. You don't want to have to make like 3 robos in order to crank out immortals so that you're constantly having immortals die, you know? Sending a strange message to the player, it also wasn't that big of a bonus in most situations. We were looking to make Avenging Protocol grant stacking bonuses to champions when host shells of their type are destroyed, in addition to when they transfer. When host shells of their type. Does that mean any Legionnaire dies? I think that's what that means. The champion should power up regardless of who dies first. Design intent of the champion transfer mechanic is for the champion to remain on the field as long as there are host shells to transfer to. There's no reason to require them to die in order to benefit from them. Yeah, again, all of this screams yay for Legionnaires and yay for Adepts, but anything past that, I don't really want them to die. Yeah, this is like a cool idea, but it never is going to work very well in actual practicality. Especially because all of your Robo and Stargate units or facilities take so long to get to your army that you have to... I mean, even I was constantly spamming out scouts and carriers and immortals and all those things, and it still took forever for them to get to my army, no matter where I put them out on the field. And then the reduced cost of research is cool, but you already have an ability with Phoenix to reduce research cost. Am I crazy, or is everything they're doing just not really that great? I mean, they do have a 20% reduction on cost. That's the general idea of all of his units. I don't think they understand what they're trying to make Phoenix work with this really cool ability that they thought it was going to work out great. But in practicality, Avenging Protocol was never that great. And we already have reduction to costs, but they want to add another reduction to the cost. So it's basically like free upgrades? Like, I don't get it. Like, this whole thing just feels like they're trying hard to make the Phoenix they wanted, and it never was a good idea from the beginning. Anyways, that's just my 2 cents. If you happen to watch this on YouTube, make sure to leave your comments below, and make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. I would really like to hear what other people have to say about this, as I've said my opinion numerous times, and I just want to see what other people have to say about this. Yeah, thanks for watching.